إن الحمد لله نحمده ونستعينه ونستهديه ونستغفره ونعوذ بالله من شرور أنفسنا ومن سيئات أعمالنا إنه من يهده الله فلا مضل له ومن يضلل فلا هادي له وأشهد أن لا إله إلا الله وحده لا شريك له وأشهد أن محمدًا عبده ورسوله وصفيه من خلقه وخليله بلغ الرسالة وأدى الأمانة ونصح الأمة وكشف الله به الغمة وجاهد في سبيل الله حتى أتاه اليقين. اللهم جازه عنا وعن والدينا خير ما جزيت نبيا عن أمته ورسولا عن قومه. أما بعد، فإن أصدق الحديث كتاب الله تعالى، وخير الهدي هدي محمد صلى الله عليه وسلم، وشر الأمور محدثاتها، وكل محدثة بدعة، وكل بدعة ضلالة، وما قل وكفى خير مما كثر وألهى، وإنما توعدون لآت وما أنتم بمعجزين. In the name of Allah, the compassionate, the most merciful. All praise is due to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. We praise Him, we seek His help, we seek His guidance, and we ask His forgiveness. And we seek refuge in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala from the evil of ourselves and from the worst of our deed. Indeed, whoever Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala guide will not be misguided. And whoever chose misguidance, there will be no guidance for him. I bear witness that there is no God but Allah, and Muhammad is His messenger sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. My dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala telling us in Al-Quran Al-Kareem, قَدْ جَاءَكُم مِّنَ اللَّهِ نُورٌ وَكِتَابٌ مُّبِينٌ يَهْدِي بِهِ اللَّهُ مَنِ اتَّبَعَ رِضْوَانَهُ سُبُلَ السَّلَامِ وَيُخْرِجُهُم مِّنَ الظُّلُمَاتِ إِلَى النُّورِ بِإِذْنِهِ وَيَهْدِيهِمْ إِلَى صِرَاطٍ to everyone. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, indeed He sent the Quran, the book, قَدْ جَاءَكُمْ مِنَ اللَّهِ, from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Noor, light. وَكِتَابٌ مُبِينٌ, the Quran, the one you read it. This is Allah's light for the mankind. But if we follow the book, if we follow what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala said, if we give time to know what Allah Azza wa Jal wants from them, if we do that, Al-Quran, they will be light in their life, and Al-Quran will be guidance for the mankind, and Al-Quran will put people in a straight path to where? To the paradise, Jannatin tajri min tahtiha al-anhar. But if we follow it, if we follow it in the true way, in a right way, the way of Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. If we do that, we will be succeeded in this life and in the hereafter. We talked for the past few weeks about building the Muslim personality, the Muslim, the one we need to see, the Muslim we should, every one of us, to be that one. The Muslim, the one Allah Azza wa Jal wants to be in this picture. The Muslim Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam showed us how he acts in his life. We talked about how to build this personality of the Muslim. We talked about the relation between the Muslim and his Lord, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in details. We talked about the relation between the Muslim and himself, his body, his brain, his health, all of that in details. Then we talked about the relation between the Muslim and his parents, priority. And then we talked about the Muslim and his family, his wife and children. And then we talked about the Muslim relation between himself and his family member, the big family. We mentioned that last week. Today, I want to start talking about the relation between the Muslims and his neighbor. Somebody will say, is there anything in Islam talking about the Muslim actions and his neighbor? Of course. But there is nothing in the law, in the civil law or the people's law, the one they write. They don't tell you how to treat your neighbor. It's up to you. If you do something wrong, this is a different story. But there is nothing to encourage you in any law on earth or guidance to the person for how to deal with the neighbors. This is with people. This is when people write the law. But Allah's law subhanahu wa ta'ala is different than that, my brother and sister. Allah Azza wa Jal will never leave important thing like that without guidance. And the Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam will never leave something very, very important like that, your neighbors, without telling you how to deal with them. This is our deen. This is the difference between our deen and people's law. This is the deen, the one people they are scared from. Even between the Muslims. When they hear word Sharia, they get scared. Yes, I know, I understand. Because the only way they see the Sharia was some people, some group here and there, and they do massacres here and there, and crimes in the name of the Islam. And they say this is Sharia. That's why people they get scared. But the true Sharia, it's not like that. The true Sharia, this is what we're telling you, my brother and sister. And Nabi sallallahu alayhi wa sallam talked about the neighbors. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, the Almighty, talked about the neighbors. That means it's an important thing. And it's something you have to take it seriously. And you cannot just take it lightly, depend on the way or your way or the mood or manners. No. This is something Allah commanded with it. And Rasulullah commanded with it. So I have, as a Muslim, the one who want to live as a Muslim, the one who want to be a role model as a Muslim, the one who want to be a picture of Muslims, he has to listen and learn and to practice what Allah Azza wa Jal said and what Rasulullah said. I'm not talking only about the individual, you and your neighbors, the houses around you. No. When we talk about the neighbors, also we included the countries. Because you as a person, you have neighbors. And the countries also, they have neighbors. They have countries around them. And the government and ruler and the president or prince or Khalifa or whatever his name is, he has to take care of his neighbors, as Allah said and as Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. It's not like just one person take care of a few houses around him, and we see the Muslim or the people who say they are practicing the Islam, they have nothing to do with the neighbors. No. They have to do that. They claim they are practicing the Islam. So if we see a country or a government or a ruler in a country spend the money of people in a foolishness way, spend billions for no reason, sometimes or most of the time for haram reasons, and he knows there is a country beside him, they are his own neighbors, they are dying because of the hunger. Those people, they never even smell the Islam, not practicing it. So don't let them fool you, my brothers and sisters. What Allah said and what Rasulullah said, it's very clear. Let us back to us, to the person, because as we mentioned before, if we want to fix, we have to fix ourselves. We cannot sit all the time and say, oh look, this is a problem here and here and here. And when I look at myself, I see I'm a big part of that problem. Look at yourself, what you're doing. Look at the way with your family. Look at the way with your community. So if you want to fix something, you start with yourself. Don't look at the other people and you be a doctor for them and you are the sick person amongst them. No, fix yourself, then your family, then you advise the other people. This is the way if we want to help this situation nowadays, my brothers. The neighbor means the one who lives in a house beside you, from every direction, north, south, east, west. This is your neighbors. This is the one Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala talked in the Quran about them. This is the people Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam meant when he was talking about the neighbors. Some people, they say, okay, maybe Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala and Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam was talking about my neighbor if he's one of my relatives. He's my cousin or is my aunt. No. There is a neighbors. Maybe some of them, they are your family members. Yeah, they have extra rights. But no, and Islam talking about your neighbors, regardless their color, black, white, green, it doesn't matter to you. Believer and non-believer, is that true? Yes, this is your neighbor. If he's a Muslim or non-Muslim, this is something else is between him and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. But for you as a Muslim, you act like a Muslim. We are not choosing to act according to the person. Never do that. This is the way of people who want to do the wrong. Oh, those people, I'm not going to do that with them. Why? Because they don't deserve it. This is not your concern. As a Muslim, you do what Allah said and what Rasulullah said. So now, your neighbors, everyone around you, my brothers and sisters. What Allah said in the Quran, I will tell you. Always, when we read the Quran in the way we know it now, there is a priorities in the ayat. When Allah Azza wa Jal talked about how to deal, for example, with people, Allah will tell you which people. But in the same time, Allah will put them in order. So Allah helping you to make your priorities right in your mind. Remember when we talk about the parents? When we talk about that guy, the one who has a big beard and the thawb and the prayer and everything, and he's bad with his father. What that person do? He confused. He doesn't know the priorities. If you know the priority, this is your dad and your mother, the first people after Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. I'm not the one who said that. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is the one who said that. So listen to what Allah Azza wa Jal said. وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا, worship Allah alone and don't take partner with Allah. Now everyone understands this part, because nothing can help if you don't fix this part, if you don't have at-tawheed, the oneness of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, right? Then, وَاعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَلَا تُشْرِكُوا بِهِ شَيْئًا وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا, your parents, yes. I understand the priority now. وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا وَبِذِي الْقُرْبَى, your relative. We talked about that. وَالْيَتَامَى وَبِالْوَالِدَيْنِ إِحْسَانًا وَبِذِي الْقُرْبَى وَالْيَتَامَى, the orphan, those kids, they need your help. وَالْمَسَاكِينَ, the poor people in general. وَالْجَارِ ذِي الْقُرْبَى, your neighbor if he's relative to you. Don't forget that one. What about if it's not? وَالْجَارِ الْجُنُبِ, any neighbors to you. وَالصَّاحِبِ بِالْجَنْبِ, they say the wife or the friend, your friend. You have to take care of them. That's it. No. Even the person, the one you never know him before, you never saw him before, maybe you will never see him after. Who's that person? Somebody's passing by state or by city, and then he is short. He has short money with him. He has a shortcoming with the money. He has a problem with the money. So he asked, can somebody help me? Because I need some money to keep going back to my home. So that person, I don't know him. And maybe I'll never see him again. Allah Azza wa Jal said, even with a person like that, you have to be generous and you have to take care of him. It's not the time now to tell you why, but at least one thing, just logic thing. If a person in a place, he doesn't know nobody, and he doesn't have money, and he has a problem, you want to go back, and nobody want to help him. What we trying to do? We're trying to push that person to do what? To steal some money or to kill somebody or to do something wrong, right? This is a logic thing. But it's not the time now to see the wisdom behind what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala commanded us. Because we know as Muslims, everything it has wisdom. And a lot of things we don't see it. But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, al-Khaliq, He knows this is the best thing for us. وَابْنِ السَّبِيلِ وَمَا مَلَكَتْ أَيْمَانُكُمْ, even in the time of slavery, you have to take care of the slaves. إِنَّ اللَّهَ لَا يُحِبُّ مَنْ كَانَ مُخْتَالًا فَخُورًا. Allah does not like that person, the arrogant person, The one who trying to be proud of his money, even he knows that that money in his hand, that wealth in his hand, it's only from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. All of that, my brothers and sisters, the one is not in any laws. Allah Azza wa Jal mentioned them in how many ayahs? Just one ayah. This is the one I mentioned, one ayah in the Quran. In the whole Quran, one ayah giving you way to how to treat the whole nation and the whole ummah, the whole mankind.